another episode. Happy Thursday. I'm your
Hello.
host, Amaris, and that's Kathy. But we're going to be talking about body image, self-confidence, and hormonal issues after children.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot to say, Kathy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll start first a little bit. I've always struggled with I guess like self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've always been that way, and especially after I lost my first baby. So, I don't know if I told you this, but I actually gained a little bit of weight during that pregnancy, and
Mm-hmm.
it was something that I struggled with after because I'm like, well, I don't have this baby and like I feel fat. Like I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
gained all this weight. And I also had an ovarian cyst, and that was causing me to gain weight. It was causing me to bloat literally everywhere, like in my stomach, my face. I hated the way I looked. And once I had the surgery to remove the cyst, I was able to lose a little bit of weight. So that was great. And it wasn't until I got pregnant with Grayson, honestly, that I felt the most confident ever in my life.
Oh, okay.
I loved my pregnancy body. I loved being pregnant. I felt
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful, so confident. I loved like wearing different outfits, and
Yeah.
I loved it. Like thinking back on it, it makes me smile because I was just, I don't know, I love the way I look. I love pregnancy. Like I had that pregnancy glow all over me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I freaking loved it. Um and then it continued after I gave birth to Grayson. Now I don't want to offend anyone. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if I do, but this is just my experience. I lost a lot of weight after. I didn't experience like that post
Mm-hmm.
baby weight. A week and a half after giving birth, I had lost all of my pregnancy weight. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
yeah. And then within not even a month, I was like well below my pre-pregnancy weight. So
Okay.
I never dealt with that. And it was because of breastfeeding, to
Oh,
be
God,
honest.
yes.
My body was literally like a machine. Like I
Mm-hmm.
would eat, and then I would burn all that off.
Yeah.
And it almost like couldn't keep, it was like, it was crazy. Like I was losing
Yeah.
crazy weight. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
So I felt good, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, damn, girl. Like, like I don't know. I felt very lucky because I didn't have, deal with that,
Mm-hmm.
baby weight. But of course, that came to an end because that seven
Yeah.
months, I stopped pumping.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened. Like, I had a huge hormonal shift in my body. I gained a ton of weight back. I was having all these crazy symptoms physically. I was feeling a lot of like bloat around my stomach and almost like pain around my ovaries. I was just
Mm-hmm.
feeling like really, really, really off. Um, and it was concerning to me. So I ended up finding, and you know the story, but I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
tell the
No, you're good.
listeners.
You're good.
So I felt very off. I found this OB that was recommended in, my local mom's group. So I went to her, explained all my symptoms. She was very dismissive. I have very bad luck with the doctors. I felt like she didn't take me seriously because she was like,
Right.
oh, it's postpartum depression. I'm like, but no, but even
What
the
the hell?
physical, like it just doesn't make sense. Like
Sense.
why, yeah, like why am I having all these feelings? I feel off. I feel dizzy. I feel, I don't know, it's just off. I felt weird in my own
Mm-hmm.
body. And I asked her if she could do like a blood panel. So like do like a full, like check my hormones. I wanted to get my
Yeah.
hormones checked. So we did that same day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then she calls me like a few days later, like the front desk calls me and they're like, your results came back and this is looking like PCOS. This is exactly how the girl said it. And I was like,
Wow.
what? Like PCOS? I
Mm-hmm.
remember I told you and I was freaking out
Yes.
about it. I was like, girl,
Yes.
I have PCOS. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, she's like, your blood is abnormally, something's abnormal here. So
Yeah.
you need to come back and do an ultrasound so we can further investigate what's going on. So I went in for the ultrasound And the tech, she doesn't even, I'm in there maybe like not even a minute, like 30 seconds. She's like, yeah, hon, you have PCOS. The
30
doctor,
seconds?
yeah, I swear to God. I was like, okay, like that was fast. It might have been more than 30 seconds, but it was really, really quick. So the doctor comes in, she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, hon, like you have PCOS. And she kind of just left me at that. I'm like, okay, so like now what? And she's like, well, I think that you should get on antidepressants. So she writes me a prescription for Lexapro. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Antidepressants for PCOS?
Yes. Wait. It gets better. And then she's like, and I'm going to write you a prescription for birth control. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be on birth control. Like I already have hormonal issues. Why am I going to put birth control in the mix?
To mask it.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, it'll help manage your symptoms. And then as far as like your emotional symptoms, the antidepressants will work because I still think that you're dealing with postpartum depression. So I left so confused. I was like, okay, like I'll give you a call back, whatever. And I'm talking to Blue, and I'm doing a ton of research at this point, and I'm like listing a bunch of questions because she told me, oh, email me if you have any questions. So I email her, and she doesn't respond to me, and I'm so butthurt. Yeah, she never responded to me. I was so pissed. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, I just felt lost. Like, what do I do at this point? You know? So, I decide to take matters into my own hands. I'm like, I'm going to do a ton of research because I guess I have PCOS, right?
Yeah.
I decide I'm going to eat clean and I'm going to try to reverse it because according to all these TikToks that I'm watching, like it is possible to reverse it. Yeah. So I'm eating super clean for like the next 3 months. I'm taking a bunch of supplements. I cut out coffee completely. Wow. I don't drink alcohol, nothing. Like I'm super clean. And then I do decide to, because a lot of people told me, oh, make sure you make an appointment with an endocrinologist. Yeah. So they test for like thyroid and I guess PCOS as well. Yeah. So I end up finding someone and she was nice, but Amaris, I literally paid $50 for her to tell me, oh, well, just keep doing what you're doing. And she was like, if you're still having symptoms within a year, just give me a call. Or if you're trying to get pregnant and you can't get pregnant, just come back to me. So I literally paid $50 for her to tell me that. Damn. And then when she was looking at my report, she was like, well, the blood report, this doesn't tell me nothing's abnormal here. Yeah. Like, what? I was like, I'm confused. She's like, no, like everything looks fine. Like the report itself doesn't tell me that you have PCOS, but just based on the ultrasound report, like I guess you have a mild case. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I'm so defeated at this point. Right. I go to my primary doctor and I'm trying to explain to her, and she's like, well, I'm not a hormonal doctor, so right. So I'm like, oh my God, like, what do I do? Yeah, like this sucks. Like I in my heart, I knew like I don't have this PCOS. It just wasn't adding up. My symptoms, it just wasn't lining up. So I finally end up seeing an OB that I already know. This was the surgeon that removed that cyst that I had in 2021. And he doesn't even look at the report. He's like, you don't have PCOS. I'm like, I know. He's like, you don't have it. Like, he's like, you have to check. I think he said 3 out of X amount of symptoms. And he was like, I just know that you don't have it just based on your history and everything. I feel like that's something that we would have caught on earlier. Yeah. So he looks at the blood report. He's like, this isn't like, what is she testing you for here? He's like, she missed a bunch of markers. He's like, he's like, no, we're going to do a full report, a full bullet panel. We're going to test you for this and this and that. And if you want to do another ultrasound, we can do that. So we do the blood work. Everything comes back normal with the blood. Yeah. We do the ultrasound. Everything's normal. He's like, he called me. He's like, you're perfectly healthy. He was like, I will say, you just stopped breastfeeding. Yeah. And everything made total sense when he told me that. He was like, you just stopped. So think about it. Your body needs time to get back to normal. Like your
Right.
hormones are all over the place. It's almost like after you give birth, right?
Right.
He's like, it's happening all over again. And I didn't even think about that. But when he explained
Mm-hmm.
that to me, I was like, shit, you're like, that makes sense. Like, I wish
Yeah.
someone would have told me that before,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And he was like, also just wait until your son turns a year, because it's
Mm-hmm.
very normal for women to have these hormonal issues. And I remember you telling me that too,
Yeah.
to wait until you're a year.
Mm-hmm.
And Grayson turned 1, and most of my symptoms are freaking gone, thankfully. And I don't have PCOS. So that's
Right.
my freaking rant with that. But
Mm-hmm.
how frustrating is that?
That is so frustrating. I remember when you were telling me, and I was like, what? Like, my sister has PCOS, and like,
Yeah.
she had it before she was even like diagnosed, before they even told her anything. She had to go through like a bunch of doctor appointments. I think she had to take two ultrasounds, and the ultrasound wasn't like 30 seconds or a minute or like 5. I think she was there for a solid like 20 to 30 minutes, because
Yeah.
they have to check everything. And I
Right.
remember for me, when I was complaining about possibly having
Endometriosis.
endometriosis, I was there for like a solid 25 minutes, and they were like in there
They were
checking
they were checking for
everything.
you? You went to
Yeah.
get checked?
I got checked twice, actually,
Do you
twice.
have it?
So, I guess jumping to my story, the way they diagnose endometriosis is through surgery, exploratory surgery.
Right, yeah.
And my nurse practitioner told
Practitioner.
me that, my cervical screens come out clear. There's no concern with
Oh.
that. I can pretty much just self-diagnose myself with endo, because one, insurances are not going to cover exploratory surgery, especially if I'm not having extreme case of endo. There's no like cyst in my body. My cervix
I
screens
was
are
gonna say, what
fine.
if you have like cysts? But I guess you don't. You said
I
you
did
don't.
I didn't. I did when I did my first internal ultrasound. They did
Mhm.
find it was like she told me it's like this big.
Yeah.
This big of a
Which I
cyst, and
think is normal.
she said, I mean, she said it's not normal to have it, but let's
Oh.
wait until after my next cycle, because I could have just been ovulating, and it could have
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
bunch of like follicles
That
inside me.
pause.
Yeah,
That's
that's what it was
that's what
in the
appeared in
ultrasound.
my ultrasound. That's what
Yeah.
Dr. Day, my now doctor, explained. Because I was like,
Mhm.
but how come all those things were showing up? And then he was
Mhm.
like, when's your cycle?
Yeah.
He's like, when did you? He's like, oh yeah, those were follicles.
Yeah, and that's what she said. She's like, in the report, and because in the report they put, whatever PCOS stands for. So as I'm reading the report before seeing her, I'm like, oh my god, I too have PCOS. So
Mm-hmm.
I went there with like my concerns. She's like, yeah, but they don't know your cycle. I know your cycle. So judging
Oh.
by when you took it and your cycle history is most likely that. But to make sure that it's nothing serious, in a month I want
Yeah.
you to go do another ultrasound, and I did. I did
Okay.
another ultrasound, and it came back clear. Came back clear.
And how long ago was this?
This was
This was
last
before?
year.
Oh, okay. So it
This
was
so
after
this
you
was
had kids.
after Cirilla. Yeah, this was after Cirilla, because
Okay.
I've always the symptoms that I experienced after having children, I've always experienced that throughout my life. The moment I got my period, it
Mm.
was like the worst time for me. I would be in extreme pain, to the point like I'm like on the wall, like, oh my god, I'm hurting. Like, I remember there was one Saturday morning, it was my first day of my period. Mind you, I'm living in my hometown, and I think I'm in middle school or like
Yeah.
freshman year of high school. My
Yeah.
period cramps, backaches, they were so intense. I was like on the wall, like,
Oh my
oh my god,
God.
it hurts. I'm gonna vomit. My mom's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I'm in so much pain. I just can't take it. And I run
Oh
to the bathroom and I
no.
vomit.
That's so hard
So
to deal with as a young girl.
yeah, and mind you, I was 9 years old when I got my period. So
Oh,
getting my
wow.
period every month, like it really sucked. Like
Wow.
I was out from school a lot, and it was
Really?
because like, oh yeah, because of my period. But back then there wasn't much education or knowledge
At
on
all, yeah.
what we know now. So I will never forget all the symptoms I experienced. So terrible back pain, intense cramps.
See, I
You
never
never
dealt with
felt
real,
that?
not with periods, but now
Oh,
post
wow.
baby, my
Mhm.
ovulation is like the
Oh,
worst pain.
ovulation pain.
That hurts more than my actual cycle. Because it
Well,
messes my back. Like I feel
yeah.
where I'm ovulating. It's like it's
Yeah.
really, and my emotions are like all over the
Mood
place. Like,
swings, same.
yeah.
Same. I think the only difference between my ovulation and my periods now
Yeah.
is with my period I get rectum spasms.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's
Yeah.
like if anyone experienced lightning crotch, it's lightning butthole.
That's
That's
crazy.
exactly what it is. I will never forget there was one time I'm making my son's lunch
Mhm.
and I just get a freaking
A
lightning
rectal
a rectal spasm and I'm like on my kitchen table like oh like I'm moaning. I'm like, oh my god, this hurts, and then I'm screaming my husband's name. I'm like, ah! I'm screaming his name. He comes here. I'm like, please hold me. I had to like let go of like all
Oh
form of my
my
body and like
God.
kind of like bear hug him, and he was bear hugging me, and I like just dropped my weight, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what that was. I ended up taking ibuprofen, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it went away.
Girl,
And
you
I
go through
was
this shit
like,
every month?
yeah, every month.
What the fuck?
That's why like I every time we plan something, I'm like, all right, well, if I have my period, I'm not going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
I'm just not going anywhere because day 1 and day 2, I'm in just constant pain. I feel like I have restless leg syndrome. It'll start from like my cramps and like work its way down to my toes. Um,
Oh my
I'm
God. And then
just like
you're contemplating your
nauseous,
life. You're in a
contemplating my
mood. I
life.
know when you're on your cycle because you start like
I start
fucking going
I do. I be going
on
at
all.
it. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's terrible. Like my mood swings go from like I'm happy to like I will murder you.
I know.
Like I will
I'm the
certainly
same way
murder
though, but I
you.
wasn't like that before having
I
a
was
baby.
oh. See, I wish I wasn't. I wasn't like this my whole life because my whole life I thought it was like normal up
Right.
until I'm in college and I'm talking to like other girls and like I
Yeah.
don't experience that. I'm like, well,
Wow.
that's weird. So I just
Yeah.
thought maybe it's because I'm on birth control. Like I was on the patch,
Oh, you
whereas
were
the
on birth
patch goes,
control.
directly to your
Oh, shoot.
bloodstream.
You
Just a pill, you just like take it and swallow it. You know.
Yeah.
So I just always thought it was because of that, but then I stopped birth control
And you
and
still felt the
then and
same?
it still felt the same, and I'm like, this is
That is
weird, this is
weird.
crazy. So it wasn't until I think at some point during college I like googled my symptoms, and of course
Mhm.
the whole terminology of ovulation pain came up and like endo, and I was like, wow, whatever. And I just like ignored
Yeah.
it until I had Cirilla, and I was like, okay, listen, like this is intense, this is serious, and this is when I also was seeing my GI doctor, gastroenterologist. I
Yeah.
think that's what they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Um, and I had the pleasure of getting a scope of my
Oh shit.
rectum,
Yeah, that's right.
and I had to do all these other tests.
Oh my
And as I'm
God.
waiting in the waiting room, I'm the only young person there. So I'm like, WTF, I should not be
Yeah.
experiencing this, but I did. But overall, it's hormones. I pretty much say my undiagnosed endometriosis is acting up
Mhm.
again. I also have like hormonal acne, which that was diagnosed by my dermatologist. So
Yeah.
now I'm on topical creams and gels to
Mhm.
fix my acne and stuff.
Your
So that's
skin looks
great.
good though, right? Like at least from here, it looks
Well,
good.
right now, because I have that tinted moisturizer that you
Mm,
recommended, the Bliss one.
I love
So
that.
that covers up everything, but like I broke out here, here, here,
Yeah.
here, like
See,
all that is
women go through
hormonal.
some shit, especially after children. And
Yeah.
I wanted to share my story because I'm just thinking of all the women that go through all these changes and they're
Yep.
probably like, what the fuck is happening? You
Mm-hmm.
know? Like
Yep.
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. So imagine me being pregnant, having Thane. Thane turns 1 and I'm pregnant again.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like I have Cirilla and then she finally turns 1. And then bam, like everything just like striked up again. Like but this time it was like intense and I was like, all right, something's up.
I
Something.
wonder if there's like a more holistic approach that you can try, like certain
Yeah.
foods or, and
Well,
like I'm sure
yeah,
there are, because
there is.
I look at a lot of videos on TikTok, and there definitely is. It's just a matter of like
Mm-hmm.
sticking to a
Right.
regimen and being strict on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's expensive too,
Yeah,
you know.
like I know. So the way I see it, like that, pretty much that entire summer, I truly dedicated
Mhm.
to learn more, like going to doctors and understanding. So I understand that um whatever's happening, my gut issues is like in
Yeah,
relation to, or it can flare up my hormonal
you should take a
problems.
probiotic. I keep
I
telling you this.
should, I know. I just keep forgetting. Like I want to email my doctor just to make sure that I can.
I feel like
Um,
that could, because that helps kind of like regulate and fix your gut.
like regulate like poop every day.
Well, yeah, but not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
It just
'Cause I
helps
go every
improve your
day.
gut, which is like connected to your brain, which is like connected to
Right,
everything.
connected to everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll send her an email. Be like, hey, can I take a probiotic? Do you
And then I
recommend?
also hear, and again, this is all from TikTok, I could be totally wrong, but
Right.
here in the United States, you guys drink filtered water, right?
Yeah.
Like from your fridge or from a filter,
Yeah.
whatever. When you filter the water here, it strips all of the minerals
Oh,
in the
I heard that.
water. So
Yeah.
you're supposed to like put minerals back in the water. You can buy like a mineral supplement that you like droplets that you can put in the water, or I've heard like Celtic sea salt or Celtic salt
Mm.
or Himalayan pink salt. Adding like a
Mm-hmm.
little bit in your water every day is supposed to
Yeah.
help.
I've heard that too.
Cucumbers, pineapples, things like that are really good to keep you hydrated
Yeah,
and could
I did
help with
hear about
hormones.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't done that because
It's
I
like one extra
forgot.
thing. I
It's
know.
just
It's
like
hard to
I've been
remember all
like,
the things.
yeah, like I think it's now I've been 2 weeks off of my vitamins. And like I
I've
feel
been
like I
off for
feel
2 days.
fine. But like I've also been like working out. When I'm working out, I'm like drinking. So it's like I'm moving my body. I'm getting the sleep that I need. So I do know I need to take my multivitamin and fish oil. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But I don't know about my magnesium.
I take a bunch of vitamins. A lot.
I know you told me.
I do think they've helped.
Oh no, they have helped. They have helped. But
I know. It's
yeah,
hard to remember and stick to like
to
a
it.
strict routine when you have
A
X amount of
toddler.
things. Yeah, a toddler. It's just a
Mhm.
lot.
It is a lot.
Like I'm trying to think what meals I'm gonna make for Grayson this week that he's not gonna toss, you know?
Right. Because you want to make sure they like eat and stuff. No, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. But going back to body confidence, you said you felt the most confident when
Yeah.
you were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So did I. Both pregnancies, I felt the
Yeah.
most confident. Even after having Thane, I felt confident. Even like, it was my wedding and
Oh yeah, girl, you looked
I felt
great.
fine. I felt great. COVID hit and I feel like it went like down.
Wait, I was just gonna ask you.
Yeah,
So
what's up?
I during the time that I stopped pumping, I also got
Mm-hmm.
COVID. So I wonder if that has any
Hmm.
correlation there as far as like, I don't
Oh
know.
no, I'm not saying I got COVID after the wedding. I'm saying once COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Once the worlds became
Yes.
quarantine, I don't know. Like I just felt like my confidence shifted, and I don't like.
Same.
I personally can't tell you what has caused it. All I know, I came back from my honeymoon, which I felt so confident. I was wearing whatever I was wearing,
Yeah.
and yeah, we got locked down, and I just felt like my confidence just like dipped. And I was like,
Me
oh my God,
too.
like this is crazy. And then I got pregnant again. I was like, oh, I love my body. And then
Mm-hmm.
after I had Cirilla, I was like, you know what? I don't care how long it's going to take for me to lose the baby weight, for me to get fit, for me to be in
Mm-hmm.
that perfect body. I'm going to love my body because I now have a daughter who's will
Yeah.
eventually be watching me, you
Yeah.
know? So that mentality of I'm going to love how I look like. I'm going to start what's the word, taking care of my body because my body is a temple. I should be taking care of my body. It's the only thing that I have.
Yeah.
And that mentality has stuck with me even like now. So
That's
I've
a
been
great
trying to go.
mentality.
It is because like I I know it's probably toxic to do this, but I weigh myself every morning before I eat because I want to know how my body is doing. I'm not looking for the number to be like a certain way or
Yeah.
anything. I just want to know, am I doing good for my body? Because when I was eating terrible, the number would go up. I would have all
Mm-hmm.
these like GI problems. My periods would be crazy. My spasms would be so intense. And the moment I
Yeah.
started eating well, putting clean stuff into my body, the number is dropping. I don't feel miserable. I don't feel tired. Like
It
I
works.
feel great.
It works.
So
Yeah.
I do that as almost kind of like a reminder. Like remember, if the number is low, that means you're eating well, you're doing great. I'm not starving myself. Absolutely
No.
not. I still eat what I want to eat. If I know if I'm bloated or the number is up, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, because I had, I don't know, pizza.
Yeah. You're just
And
more like in tune with your body.
yeah, I'm not gonna restrict myself from what I'm going to eat. Like I'm going to eat because at the end of the day, I have a daughter and she does watch me weigh myself
Yeah.
every single day, and she goes on the scale too. Like, oh look, you're X amount of weight. Great job. I do
Oh,
look at
cute.
myself in the mirror and I lift my stomach up, not because I want to see how skinny I am, but I need
Yeah.
to see how bloated I am.
Yeah.
Because if I bloat, something's
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah.
So she's watching me. So loving my body is something that I think all women should do. And I know we all have scars. We all have
Yeah.
scars from the baby. I love my scars.
I
I've
love my scars.
always loved my scars, and maybe it's because of my complexion. You could rarely see it from other women who have different
Yeah.
complexions than me, but I love my scars.
Girl, if you see my stomach, it's like a whole war zone. Like I have
Oh yeah.
my surgery
Oh
scars from when I had my
yeah.
cyst removed. I had my
Mhm.
C-section scar and then I have
Mhm.
my stretch marks, but I love it. Like I'm
Yeah.
embracing it. Like my body
Yeah.
went through all that. So fuck it,
Right.
you know?
Right. Like I have these two beautiful,
Yeah.
healthy children running around, screaming, loving their life. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be happy with my scars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And
So I'm
I'm like you too, where I used to struggle with self-confidence and whatnot, but after
mhm.
having Grayson, it's like you kind of have to let go of that and just,
Yeah.
you know, it's it's not it's not that important like to
Right.
like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't want to come off as so like superficial or
Mhm.
like those things. At the end of the day, those things don't matter. Like my
No.
body brought me this baby boy, and
Mhm.
I want to show him that we need to love our bodies and
Right.
not focus so much on our appearance. You know?
Right. Right. I want to say too, Abraham has been such a big help in my body confidence too because I would like hide myself and wear like big clothes. And he's like, why do you wear big clothes? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Like, this is like my size. He's like, you're not a size large. Like, you're a
yeah,
medium. I'm like, I disagree. I disagree with you.
yeah,
But like, once I started like losing weight and stuff from like breastfeeding, because for me, breastfeeding did make me like lose weight.
yeah.
I kind of saw what he was talking about. Like, my large clothes
Mm-hmm.
was like way too large for me. And I'm like, all right, you're right. So he started buying me clothes that is actually my size. And I'm like, this is amazing. He's like, you look
Aw.
good. He's like, you don't look bad, like at all. And even if you did, like, you still look good. So, like, you need to dress to your body type. Like, stop hiding your body. This man wants me to go to the gym with a sports bra and leggings.
Nah, chill the fuck not.
I'm like,
Chill out.
calm down. He's like, but
I'm
you
not.
look good. I'm like, but
Oh,
I'll like run in place. I was like, you see that? Like that pot comes out. He's like, who cares? He's like, you still look good. Like you're my wife. Like you look good. Like go out in this. And I'm
oh,
just like, maybe next year.
yeah.
So I do love that he, pushes me to show more of my skin. And he still does it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
still does it. And I don't think most wives have that. I don't think,
No.
they have that support the way that I do. And I'm sure Blue is like the same
Oh
way.
yeah, all the time. Whenever I'm feeling down on myself, I'm like, oh, I hate the way I look. He'll be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you look amazing.
Yeah.
But I have my off days. I think the
Mhm.
thing with me that I'm struggling with, and this is my own fault because I'm not always consistent with exercising and eating healthy. I get into like this really great routine for like 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
then
Fall
I
off.
mess up. I fall off. That's the
Mhm.
word. I fall off, and like now, like with this Thanksgiving break, like I feel like a slob, and I feel really down. Like today, it took everything in me to like get on here and be positive
Mhm.
because I was just feeling really down today. Just
Yeah.
very like, I don't know, just
Like maybe
not.
down because like you are off routine and you feel like you're
Yeah,
doing bad.
yeah, and
Mhm.
I'm like, how am I gonna get back into my routine? Like how am I gonna get that push again?
Yeah.
Like that's what I struggle with. Like I'm already having anxiety about tomorrow because I'm like, how am I gonna get back on that train?
Mhm. Yeah. I get what you mean. I used to be like that, like falling off. But
Yeah,
ever since Cirilla started liking the gym, I'm going Monday through Friday. Like I always take
that's
her. But
awesome.
now I'm taking her and I'm actually like exercising because she loves it. She loves it there.
Yeah,
So they have all these activities for her and I'll like look and there are times I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like I did a 15-minute walk. I'm good. And I'm like, no,
yeah.
push yourself because your daughter has 2 more classes that she loves. So
Aw,
do something. I will say confidence. I'm still working on confidence, guys. But confidence going
we
into the
all.
weight room, I would not step foot there. If I look and there's a bunch of like muscular people there, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna stay on the treadmill. I'm gonna continue walking.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm
I
gooder.
wouldn't be able to
But like
either.
I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing myself to
Yeah,
go
that's good.
in and like exercise. And I've been doing that for the past month and I feel strong and I'm loving it and it's giving me more confidence. I'm
That's
just like,
awesome,
yes,
girl.
I need to like continue this. Like if I fall off, it's okay. I'm gonna get back on. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna get back on. So
yeah.
you will get back on. Tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, yes, let's go, Kathy. Back to where
You're right.
where I
You know what I
started.
need to do first? So
What?
I don't know about you, but I'm someone I can't have junk in my
No.
house.
Mm-mm.
And I never do. Like
Yeah.
we don't have sodas, we don't have juices, but
Mhm.
like, Joel's here, so he has like Pringles in the pantry.
Right.
We have like that cheesecake that I made. We
Mhm.
have pretty sure we have some Thanksgiving stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, the food that my mother-in-law brought. I can't have that. So I
Yeah.
like tonight I'm sorry, but I'm gonna toss everything or freeze
Or
things,
freeze
whatever
it.
I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just can't.
Mhm. I will gobble that up.
I
Yep.
lack self-control
Mhm.
with that.
Same. And Abraham is
So
the same way. Like him and I,
really?
we're very bad. If I buy snacks, those snacks are
Yeah.
gone within 2 days,
Yeah.
and I'm just
Okay.
like,
So I'm not the only one.
but yeah, no, you're not.
Okay.
We will indulge, and then we
Okay.
will
And
feel
that's the problem
guilty.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Because I can be healthy.
yeah.
But the moment we have these snacks and all these
Mhm.
things, it's like,
That's all I
oh,
want to eat. Like I'm
yeah.
hungry for snacks.
Yeah. It's so bad. It's
It
so,
is
so
bad.
bad.
So I've learned so for ice cream, I could buy like 2 pints of like ice cream. I'm like, okay, I bought a smaller
Yeah.
quantity for us to last. And I'm like, this one's yours, this one's mine. Abraham is
Okay.
done. And I'm like, you can't do that. I'm like,
Why?
no.
Blue's the same way.
I'm like, you
Yeah.
can't. He's like, it's so good though. And I'm like, you can't do that, dude. Like, we
Yeah.
have to just stop.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I stopped buying the ice cream, the
You gotta stop, yeah.
snacks. Like, no. But there are days where I'm just like, I want a snack. And I'm like, why is everything so healthy here? Oh my God. And Abraham's just cracking up on me. And I was like, it's not funny. I need a snack.
And then you have to get creative with the healthy snacks.
Yes. And then when I do, I'm like, yo, this shit is good.
Like dates with peanut butter
and you dip it in chocolate. Oh my God, that is so freaking good. It's like the healthy version of a Snicker.
It's good. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Freaking good. I love it. Or there was one time I wanted a Cuban sandwich, so I got you know what, I got creative. I don't have like the Cuban bread. I got a tortilla, a corn tortilla.
Okay.
Diced up the pickles, diced up the pork that we had. I have ham, put ham in it.
Okay.
I didn't have Swiss cheese. I had Monterey Jack cheese, I believe, and then mustard. It was so fucking good.
That sounds good.
It was so good. I was like, oh, I feel great.
It satisfied the craving.
It did. So you have to get creative with the healthy food.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun.
It is fun. But it takes great discipline.
Yes, exactly. Discipline.
To do it. Yeah.
Yeah, girls.
So yeah. I will also say too, once I turned 30 and I did a boudoir photo shoot for my
that's
my
right.
30th birthday. I don't know, like my confidence just shot up. Like shot up because the photographer, she's all about body positivity, and the whole time I was there, I just felt great. I felt sexy.
Amazing.
I was like, you can't tell me shit about my body. Like, this is my body. And then seeing my photos during the reveal session, I was like, damn, my ass do look good. Imagine if I were to work out. I'm getting a nice ass. Yeah. So I feel like that's also like, that has been such a big motivator for me. To continue to going to the gym, be disciplined in what I'm like eating, and just being like, bitch, you are cute. Stop playing yourself. Like, stop.
Yeah, we're moms, and moms could be hot too.
Right.
Shit.
Moms are hot. Moms are hot. Every other mom has some type of confidence. Yeah. You know, that they want to like work on and stuff. You know, especially for like if you're a first time mom, or just like you just given birth, like your hormones are out of whack. You know, and I feel like hormones just play such a huge role in like everything, and every part of your life is kind of just like, just blame it on the hormones. I promise you, a year later, you know, it's not gonna exist unless you get pregnant again, or you have given birth again. Then by all means, like, hormones are back at it again. But
it's not gonna last forever.
No, it's not. It's not. There will be some end towards it.
And it's totally normal.
Yes. Completely normal.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was going through all that, I was like, I'm so confused. How come no one talked to me about this?
Yeah.
You know?
I think I knew like the whole 1 year thing because Chelsea from Teen Mom too, when she had, I think, her third child, her third or her fourth, no, she has 4 kids now. I think it was her third child. And she kept having all these like panic attacks and stuff. And during the reunion, Dr. Drew was like, well, do you know it takes a year for like a woman's body to get like back to normal? She was like, yes, and I had no idea, and that's where all like the panic attacks were coming. She said something along those lines, and that stuck with me.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
And then also like the breastfeeding.
And then
like,
like,
who knew?
I think I learned that. With TikTok. I think I was following someone, and they said that if you stop breastfeeding when your child is like 2 or like after the year, you're going to feel like you're going through postpartum again. And I was like, oh my
because it's like your body's like, oh wait, okay, we're not feeding, like we're no
Right.
longer
So like you
postpartum, you
don't
know,
need
it's
me
like,
anymore. All right, let me
right.
back it up. And then your hormones are like, what's good, girl? Miss me? And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
no, bitch, I don't.
Exactly that.
One thing I forgot to like mention when I was at
Yeah.
my doctor's appointment with
Okay.
my OB, she told
Mm-hmm.
me, she's like, we could fix your symptoms by tricking your body that you are pregnant by taking birth control pills. Because when you
Oh,
take birth control pills, your body thinks it's like pregnant. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be on birth control.
because it's like a temporary fix. It's
You're
not
just
like
masking
masking.
everything, and I
Yeah.
don't want to mask it. I want to be able to like fix it.
Yeah.
Um, and my dermatologist kind of said the same thing with my hormonal acne. She's like, well, you could
Yeah.
take it. And I'm like, but I don't want that at all.
I
So,
feel like that's like doctors, they push the birth control so hard,
right, because it's like,
and
okay,
it's
you're
annoying.
complaining about all these symptoms. We can stop it by birth control. It's like,
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
like,
want
no.
to. Like, but I don't have
But yeah,
anything else to say about body
me either.
confidence other than all moms and all women, everybody, you guys are all beautiful. Love your
Love
body.
yourself.
It's a
Yeah.
temple. Take good care of it,
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means to you, because what I do to take care of my body is different from what anyone
Yeah.
else does. Don't compare
1,000%.
yourself to all these TikTok moms or the
Don't.
Kardashians to
Oh,
nobody. Don't
no.
compare yourself.
No. And remember too, your kids are always watching you. They're
Yeah,
always looking at you. So even when you think they're not,
they are.
they are. Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, guys, for tuning in. Don't forget, we release new episodes every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So, see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.